Hi guys, welcome to another video. In this one, I'll be starting this sketchbook. I'll test it with several materials to see what I can expect of it. And spoilers alert, it's not that bad. Hope you enjoyed this, at least as much as I enjoyed myself doing it for you. My name is Ana Paula Terry, if you don't know me by now. I'm an artist based in Portugal, and this is my art channel. So feel welcome, share your thoughts with me in the comments, and I'm really happy to have you here with me. I had to go to the hospital a few days and I really can't stand having nothing to do. So I thought, okay, since I'm gonna be lying in a bed, I might as well draw or do something creative before I go mad, you know? And that was the motto for this video. I wanted to start this sketchbook to bring with me because I thought I'd have all the time in the world for drawing. That was not the case. I didn't draw that much. I draw a little nonetheless. I enjoyed myself very, very much. I had a really pleasant time in the hospital, crazy as that may seem, but it was a really fun time. And I got to start this sketchbook because I was really feeling precious about starting this sketchbook. I don't really know why, but if you've been here in my channel for quite some time, you know that I'd had this sketchbook for some time now. Well, I've got this notebook, sketchbook, that I received not for last Christmas, but on the one before it. I don't know, probably 2 years. I can't really remember, but I've had it for a long time and I hadn't started yet. So now it's the time. I thought, okay, I don't want to take a lot of stuff with me. So I'm going to take this sketchbook because it has a lot of pages and I can draw as much as I want. You know, I was crazy. I was probably out of my mind. And I thought I would draw this world and the next one in a couple days because that's really for how long my stay in the hospital was. So that's what I'm going to share with you in this video. So let's go. Let's go for the testing and the reviewing of this big boy. Whoops, my bad. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I had started recording for you to see this first test on my sketchbook, but apparently I did not push the button. So typical me. But I just started by saying that this is an A5. Where do I have the reference? An A5 sketchbook from United Office. It has 240 pages. It's an A5 size, 80 grams per square meter. It's the thickness of the paper, quite thin. And now I began with a rough test for it because such thin paper, it's not supposed to go well with water. So I started right away with a water test using my watercolors on it. It's waving pretty bad, but it isn't passing through the page to the back side. So let's see how it dries up. I didn't finish the test. Okay, better. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's just some doodles, you know. No real intention. Maybe some floral type thing here. With lots of water. Now just to test it. Yes, lots of water. The waves of the paper are giving me a rough time painting it because the watercolor is spreading unevenly, but it's fun nonetheless. Let's just see how it dries. I can't make a straight line in here. I can't really make the lines quite where I want them, which is fun, you know, it's fun for looseness sake. And in here I'm gonna use these, which are watercolor crayons. These are from Gallery Mungio, watercolor crayons. And my watercolors, this Sakura, one petite color from Sakura. Okay, with these watercolor crayons, I'm gonna just lay them and then I'm gonna water them. Once again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do something, I don't know. Maybe just a body of water over here and some land all around it. Yeah, little green. Okay, let's go in with the water now. I'm scared. Okay. Okay, it's mixing. The pigments are mixing. Yay. I'm having these bubbles that I don't like. I don't know whether it's just the paint, you know, air bubbles in the paint from scrubbing, or whether it's the paper just falling apart. I don't think it's the paper, which is good. Let's see a little bit better. Oh dear, it starts waving just as soon as I wet it. I can put some more crayon on top of it. The paper is not falling apart. It's quite resistant, but it's drying in a strange way. Can you see it? It's all dotted. It has these small dots everywhere. I don't think it's the crayons. I think it's the paper that it's making this. It's quite nice. Let me see if I can add some bushes and trees. Can, yeah. It's quite different where it's wet and where it isn't. But it's nice. Here it's halfway dried already. So it's again different from these two. Maybe a little bit more contrast here on the mountain. Doesn't work, the finger, because it still is a bit wet. I like this line. I'll show you later closer, because the watercolor is, this is like a watercolor. It dissolves in the water and it makes a kind of a watercolor wash, and it dries leaving a little bit of a line on the edge of it, and I love that. I'm betting this will dry nicely. I don't know if it will lay flat then. Probably not. Probably it will have this wavy way to it still. But it's not falling apart. It's not going over to the other side too much. Maybe a little bit of white in here. Now that it's getting a little bit drier. Let me see. The paper doesn't like it too much. It's a little bit rough on it. Okay. And now maybe some yellow parts in here. Checking out the lighter colors go on top of it. And they go well. They're lighter nevertheless. But I can see them. They're there. They're notable. That's all I can ask for. Once again, the paper is not loving it, that I'm rubbing it so hard. Well, it's not so hard, but it is a bit hard because the paper is still a little bit wet. Okay, I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. Let it dry, and then I'll see if I can work on top of it again, or maybe I just leave it like that. So I better put this aside a little bit. And now, as for the color pencils that I want to take with me, I haven't decided on them yet. I've got this roll that it's my going out and about roll for now. There's a bunch of brands in here. I showed it to you, well, not these, but a lot of these colors in one of my previous videos, in the one that I tested the paints that I made. How did I call it? I think painting with my water soluble palette or something like that. DIY water soluble palette. I think that's it. And I've got a lot of brands in here, so it's a miscellanea of pencils. And I've got this big one, which I made myself, and I have the video here in the channel if you want to watch it. But it is too big. It is just too big. I don't want to take such a big boy. So I bought this other one. This one has 24 holes, and this big one doesn't have really a number of spaces here. Just takes a lot of materials. In fact, I have here also some markers in here. I don't use markers a lot, but I have nothing against them really, and sometimes I go for them. So they're always laying near me. And as I was saying, I bought this big roll of pencils. These I think have 72 spots, so it's a lot more than this one, but it's less than this one. Probably I'll be taking this one with me, and I have to figure out which pencils that I want to take with me, because as you can see, this one is quite full. I wasn't happy with just the 24 spots, so I took this middle one, which isn't supposed to be for pencils because it's too little. I usually put a brush in this, a thin brush, or these Marco Raffine pencils, which are a little bit thinner than the other ones. But as you can see, I have a ton here and here because they have this bigger elastics on the side. This big one also has it to take bigger things like water brushes or something, markers, for instance, well, whatever. And I took advantage of those, and I put in a lot more pencils than I should. So that's obvious that I need a bigger case. So while these pages are drying, I'm gonna figure out the colors of the pencils that I want to take with me, and well, maybe other materials that I want to put in here, because some of my markers are quite thin and maybe fit in these spots. Yes, they do. Perfect. They do fit in there perfectly. Okay, that's what I'll be doing, and I'll show you after that. Okay, more testing for this sketchbook. This time I'm not gonna start in the end like I did with this once, because I don't care. You know, I started it already. I was feeling precious about it, and I'm not anymore, because I found out that the paper, although it's quite sturdy, it's very thin at the same time. And as you can see, I don't know if you can, it waved a little bit with the water, and even by pressing a little bit hard with the pencils on this side, I can feel it on this side, because the paper is very thin. But nevertheless, it didn't fall apart with the water. As you can see, it didn't pass through to the other side, so I think it's a win. And I kind of like what I accomplished here in this one, and also in this one with watercolors, but it behaved a little better with these paints. I think I laid less water on this side. So now I'm gonna try and use this palette that I made the other day. I made these paints myself. So I'm gonna use this because these paints are more or less like wash. They're not as thin as watercolor, so maybe they will behave nicely on these pages. So I'll start by adding something. Oops, look at this. I hope it doesn't rip. After this dry, I'm gonna try drawing on top of it and see how that works. If I don't like the buckling of the paper or the transparency of it, because this is quite thin paper, maybe it gets transparent, and when I draw something in here, even with my color pencils, it might be noticed on this side. I don't know. If I get that peeking through, and if I mind that, because usually I do mind that. I know some artists don't, because this is just a sketchbook, it's just for practice, but sometimes I like to scan my sketchbooks, and I really am bothered if something on the other side peeks through to this side. So maybe I will have to use only one side of the sheets of paper for drawing and keep the other part empty. I don't know, but it's not such a big deal. In this one, I'm gonna try these markers, and these I think are all water markers. I have some alcohol markers as well, but that will go through these babies like butter. I'm sure of it. So I'm gonna try these ones in here, and I've got this cardboard to put after my page, so if the ink bleeds through to the other side, it won't mess the next page. When I go over the same place I painted before, it starts to mess up my paper, and it doesn't pass through to the other side very much, so it's quite good. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, not bad at all. These are light colors. I intend to use this as a base layer also for a drawing that I will do on top of it. Now, if I decide to draw something in here, let's see, what am I going to draw? Okay, I got this book from Van Gogh, and I'm gonna use this painting of his as a reference to make a drawing. I'm not going to try and replicate it. I just want to draw something in here with my markers. Okay, and I don't know for now the colors I'm gonna use. I'm just going to be free about that and draw something. Let me see. It's completely on the other side, but it's okay. I mean, there is something completely expectable. It's no biggie. I'll just draw on one side of the paper. I tested this one, yeah, another one, another brand. Need the red one. Let me see how the blue and this one performed better than this. This one goes through a lot more than this and this. Let me see, this one is the same brand as this one. Yeah, and it worked just like the blue one. Yeah, okay. More, maybe this orange for the lower lip. No, it's too yellow. Okay, maybe this is a brown. Let me see, it's a little bit on the dark side, but the value isn't correct, but I'm going with it. Oh, perfect. It doesn't go through to the other side. This is perfect. Now, this green. Let me see. Not bad. Not bad at all. If I go on top of it, probably it will pass to the other side. Let's see. Not bad either. A little bit comes through here, but I reinforced it several times. Perfect, yeah. Now I need a yellow for this. Maybe this one now. That I thought that was orange, but it turns out it's yellow. Okay. Let me see if it goes to the other side. No, it doesn't. Oh, this goes through a little bit to the other side because it's darker. Yeah, I need to make it brown, maybe with this one. Now that I'm going over it, it probably will go to the other side even worse, even more. This is ripping the paper. Look at this. Okay. Okay. I don't know what color this is. Let me see. Oh, it's perfect for the skin. In the forehead, but I don't know which brown to use. Maybe this one. Seems like she has bangs. It's not the case. It's just that she has a little bit of shadow here. Maybe this. I don't know what this is. Okay, it's done. Not bad. So I found out which markers are good for this paper and which aren't. Turns out that these ones, twin markers, I think they're from Normal, the store. They bleed through to the other side quite a lot, so I'm not going to use these ones. I'll use all of these. These ones, which are these from IKEA, are quite a bit strong as well, but they're not too bad. So that's it. I'm gonna take all of this with me. These ones and these ones. I'm preparing some pages on this sketchbook with these paints because this first one that I painted is already dried and it's quite sturdy, so I bet I'm gonna love to draw on top of it. I've experimented before drawing with my color pencils on top of these paints and I really loved it, so I bet I'm gonna love it in here as well. I've painted these pages already, one in each color. I'm not gonna do it in every color. I just want these lighter colors because I don't know yet what I'm going to draw on top of it. And if I choose a darker color, I'm gonna be limited with the materials that go on top of it. These lighter ones are more versatile. Okay, done. It's smudging the other page, but I don't mind. I don't care. Maybe I'll do this even. I just don't want them to stick together, but I don't mind them smudging the other page. It's fun. Looks like a stamp. Okay, just let it dry now. I want to show you, after all, the materials I'm going to take with me to the hospital. Well, in fact, I took with me to the hospital because this is the future me recording for you guys. I noticed I missed this footage, so I'm showing you here, after all, the materials I end up taking with me. Okay, of course, my sketchbook. And I haven't shown you yet how those pre-prepared pages end up looking after dried. I'm gonna do that now without showing you the drawings I made in there. Okay. Well, spoilers alert, I didn't draw as much as I wanted to. After all, I just was in the hospital for 2 or 3 days and I didn't have that much time, between surgery and waking up from anesthetics and all that. I didn't have as much time as I thought I would for drawing. But as you can see, the pages ended up looking really great. They're not that wavy. I don't know if you can see, but they are really sturdy. They look great. I really can draw on top of this base layer really, really well. I love it. Oh, and sorry for my voice. Apparently, I left my voice in the hospital, but apart from that, I'm feeling great. And I expect her to come back any day now. I was worse. When I came home, I literally couldn't speak. You couldn't hear me at all. and right now, as you can see, it's not that great, but at least you understand what I'm saying. So that's a win. And these are those last pages I painted. Look. Can you see? It's almost not wavy at all. It's looking great. And this kind of stamp look that I did by pressing the pages together gives me a light texture on the other page to take advantage of. I'm really happy with it. Look at this pink. Yeah, so that's what to expect of this thin paper after painted with a water medium. Can ask for more. Look at this. It's almost non-wavy. This is really nothing major. I'm really happy with this sketchbook. Okay, so that's it for the sketchbook. And then I ended up filling this big boy. 72 spots, almost all taken. Oh, I'm missing something here. Where did I put it? I have it somewhere. It's here in the house. It's just not in here. I have this selection of colors. A lot of colors, a lot of brands. As I told you, I choose my pencils by color, not by brand. So I got a mix of brands in here. This is a sharpener. This is my Lyra Pro sharpener. I really love this guy. And this little box fits in here, as you can see. So perfect. Perfect to go. And in here I got a few markers that I ended up not using at the hospital. But, well, you know me, I'd rather take more than less. And I hate having regrets, I rather have more and not use it than have less and miss it. So I took all these guys. Oh, the pencil's here. I told you I had it in the house. So let's put it in its place. Okay. So I took these guys with me, but I didn't use them. I ended up using them here after coming from the hospital because I finished one of the pages here at home. Okay, are you ready? Now I'm going to show you what I drew at the hospital. And this one was right as soon as I settled in. I look at my window and I had this wonderful view that I'll show you in a picture. I wanted to capture it in a drawing, and this is it. This is a rather simple drawing. I just wanted to fast get the feeling of what I was seeing. I didn't have much time to let my eyes adjust to the landscape, but I didn't feel pressured to do a great drawing. I just wanted to draw something to start my sketchbook and take a few notes of my stay at the hospital. This was kind of journaling, journaling through my experience in the hospital, because thank God is not something that I'm used to. So after this one, I drew these two. Well, in fact, these are 3 drawings. These ones were after my surgery. So the only drawing that I made before the surgery was this one, as soon as I got to the hospital, as I told you. And then a few days later, I drew these. This is the view from my bed. I was lying in bed while drawing this one. In my front, I had this chair and this thing to put the things hanging, you know. I don't know how it's called. And these, once again, was the landscape that I could see through my window while in my bed. This drawing was made on top of that markers under painting that I made before going to the hospital. This was the one where I tested the markers. And this again in the hospital. This one was the bed in my bedroom. I had two other lovely ladies there with me, and this was overall a really pleasant time that I had there because they were quite nice people to be around, and the time really flew by. So if you're watching this, I really thank you for making this a much better experience for me. And this page, well, I glued this sticker here. This is something that comes with our meals. So I drew here one of my meals there and some details here, some grapes and tomato. And this was a medicine that I took there. More. These were also lying down in my bed. I could see my hand drawing in the sketchbook. This is my feet, the bottom of my bed. And these are the wardrobes that we have there to put our things in. And this is a larger hand that I drew with a little bit more detail. This is a self-portrait. I'm really happy with it. I just tried to practice my hand, you know, to keep the hand moving while I was there. And that's it. I didn't draw anything in these pre-prepared pages. So I got a bunch of them to fill up right now. You'll probably see this in my next videos. So that's it for this video. I'm really happy that you stick along to the end. And if you did, please just leave me a comment saying happy hospital. And I'll know that you were here till the end with me. And that you're one of my loyal friends here at YouTube. So if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Leave a like in this video. Share it with your friends. Thank you so much for that. And soon I'll have another art video for you. So until then, bye-bye.